a few more things for the LA Kings to work on before the next game against the Sharks on Monday. Namely, how to generate some offense and how to stay out of the damn penalty box. Okay, so again, not the greatest start for the Kings, except they started great last time, so never mind. Except that then they continued to just not be good the whole game. Clifford was out of the lineup tonight, which I think was a huge mistake, because Clifford and Lucic last game were the only people that were smashing the Sharks into oblivion, and that was the only thing that the Kings did right, basically, on Thursday, except for, of course, you know, Trevor Lewis's shorthand goal, which I'm still never going to get over. So they started out by letting in a goal. It was Thornton or Pavelski or one of those guys. It was actually a really good shot, unfortunately, and it was not Quick's fault so much as the defense that was in front of them. Basically, the Sharks have figured out that Doughty is really, really good, something that, of course, we have known for many, many years. So they basically, whenever Doughty's on the ice, they're like, yeah, we don't really want to be anywhere near that guy. So, ooh, who's his defensive partner? Great, let's all go over here and kind of not really let the other guy, who tonight I believe was Muzzin most of the time, do his job, and that's how they end up scoring. So first goal was about 4 minutes in. It was okay though, because the Kings were not necessarily playing badly. They took a power play, which was actually kind of bad. The Kings are not very good at them. That would also be on my list of things that the Kings should look at improving in the next few games if they want to have more than a few more games. And then some Sharks guy fell down next to King, and somehow that was a penalty on King. I'm going to complain about the refs tonight. I am, and you're going to see why in the second period. And I'm not going to blame them entirely for the game, because the Kings did not play well enough to win, again. But yeah, second period, they completely screwed us. So there was another penalty, like, at the end of the period, and that was King. There were just a bunch of really, really, really bad penalties that the Kings shouldn't have taken, perhaps didn't deserve to take, but took anyway. And instead of calming down, making smarter plays, they got angry. I saw Doughty almost break his stick at least 3 times during this game today. He was mad. Carter was mad. Everybody on the Kings team was not composed tonight. And you sit there and you look at Martin Jones, who we gave up, and I'm not saying I wanted to give up Quick instead. I will never say that. But he's like, okay, cool, I'm just gonna hang out over here by my net. If you guys want to come down and shoot at me at any point, I'm good. You go, oh, okay, I got that, cool. He was chill. He was great. He was completely, I was gonna say he got a shut up, but he didn't. I forgot that we actually scored at the end of the game. But it was too little, too late. So second period comes along. I can't remember if we got a power play. If we did nothing with it. What we did do, however, is take a 5-on-3 penalty for 2 whole minutes. And here's why I'm going to complain about the refs, because Toffoli's, at least, was complete bullshit. It was not a penalty. It was not a penalty. It was actually awesome. A couple of minutes before that, Joe Thornton and Toffoli, we were on the penalty kill already for something else that had happened. And Toffoli is kind of, they're both going to the bench. And Thornton, who's easily got 60 pounds on Toffoli, I don't know what Toffoli said to him, but Thornton backed down from tiny little cupcake Tyler Toffoli. Also, by the way, there are Tyler Toffoli cupcakes that benefit the LA Kings Care Foundation. They are available until March 30th, and as we discovered with Lori Holton yesterday, they're really good. So, little cupcake beating down on Joe Thornton. It was great. But yeah, play continues, and then Toffoli gets a roughing or charging, and Lucic gets the other one. I couldn't remember who got which, but there was a roughing and a charging penalty. Lucic's, I might give you. Maybe. Like, maybe. There were definitely some calls that got missed by the refs, and that's the one they picked. I'm like, oh, okay, well, he was kind of a little bit behind the play, but all right, whatever. But Toffoli's, no. So 2 full minutes of 5-on-3, and of course they convert that, and so that's their second goal. And that's about the point where the Kings basically just start to lose their shit. It's not pretty to see. I think it was Carter right after they scored, and we're still on the 5-on-4 now, for about a minute and a half, where, or maybe a minute, I can't remember. It didn't take them long to score the first one. He almost gets another penalty, and so it would have been 5-on-3 again. Thankfully, they didn't call it, but it was kind of touch and go there for a little bit. It's definitely not what you want to see from a team you expect to go all the way in the playoffs. You cannot afford to let them get to you. In the third period, again, it was... Oh, no. In the second period, I think we got a couple of power plays back because they basically felt bad for us that they had screwed us over. So they gave us a couple of power plays, which, of course, being the Kings, we did nothing with. We got a few more in the third period, which we did nothing with. We actually got one that Carter took a penalty in 30 seconds into it, 29 seconds into our power play. Carter takes a penalty, and so that's 4-on-4 for a while. And it was just basically 60 minutes of the Kings not being able to get anywhere near Jones, and when they did, they weren't taking any good shots. I looked over at Judson, my seatmate, and was like, wow, I mean, this is at the end of the game. I'm like, dude, Jones has taken, like, had maybe two shots that he's actually really had to handle. And he's like, 2? That's generous? Like, 1.5, maybe. It was not the Kings' greatest night. They did finally score a goal. Yay! Highlight of the game! But it, like I said, it was too little too late. It was with 5-ish minutes to go. And it's something that actually happened to Quick a couple of times during the end of the first period, where it was just like, how many people are at the net and how many people can try and shove that puck in compared to how many are trying to shove it back. I don't even know how they decided who got the assist, because it was just a free-for-all mad scramble in front of that net. They gave Lecavalier, who I actually now feel so bad for, because he came to LA thinking that this is the team that's taking him to the playoffs, and a team that plays like we did tonight does not deserve to go much further, as much as I want them to, and you know that I do. Gaborik was back in the lineup. That was a highlight for sure. I was slightly concerned. 9 weeks ago, they said he would be out for 10 to 12. And he is back, and I was slightly concerned given that Martinez came back on Thursday and didn't play the entire third period and is now back out, that perhaps we had activated someone too early again. I was very pleasantly surprised to see the way Gaborik played. He was definitely back on form. Unfortunately, Kopitar, who he plays with, has not been in the greatest form these last couple of games. I don't know if there's an undisclosed injury. I don't want to speculate. But yeah, not his best work, not Drew's best work. Unfortunately, he definitely let his composure get the better of him. But positives to take away, McBain in the lineup instead of Martinez, awesome. Sutter even said that McBain was the best defenseman on the ice tonight for the Kings. And I'm not really going to argue with that. This is a guy who's played, I'm going to get this number wrong, but it's like 643 games or 476 games. He has played a lot of NHL games. This is his first playoff game. And he was the only one out there who desperately wants to stay in that lineup and deserves to stay in that lineup. He and Gaborik both definitely came back with a good mindset. They were rested, and they played incredibly well. Quick, of course, is phenomenal. He does tend to, and especially when you're comparing him to Martin Jones, who's such a stay-at-home kind of goalie, as Lori and I were talking about. He definitely overextends himself a lot. At one point, Shen and Muzzin had to step in and make big saves like they were the goaltender. I think that was the end of the second period where the scuffles happened. So kudos to them for doing that. But yeah, definitely need more composure, less time in the box, and more quality shots. We did actually have more shots on goal than we expected. The first 2 periods, we were on pace for like 14, which is something the Kings usually get in a period. And that is definitely their style, where they just pepper the puck at the net and hope one of them goes through, because occasionally one of them's going to be really good, or they're just going to wear down Jones like they did with this goal by just enough people jabbing at it. So if we do a little bit more of that, and don't wait until 5 minutes before the end of the third period to do that, I think the Kings still have a shot. They're a good team. They have a lot of good players. The Sharks have a terrible, terrible home record, which I'm hoping that we can capitalize on Monday. But yeah, they definitely need some adjustments, particularly 5-on-5, if they are going to get as far out of this competition as they want to. So I will not be here Monday. Hopefully I'll see you guys Wednesday. Hopefully I'll see you guys Friday and then Sunday, and that hopefully will be enough. 6 or 7 games. I'd like to see a lot more Kings hockey and a lot more good Kings hockey. So until then, Kings fans, keep calm and eat some Tyler Toffoli cupcakes.